Welcome back, trainers. So we have a new announcement regarding shiny Feebas. So we're going to be taking a look at its stats, its moves, to see how well it can perform all around and more so in PvP. Now I'm pretty excited for this shiny Feebas. That's pretty neat, out of nowhere. So let's go ahead and head into the news to see what they have to say about this, because we do have that lovely bit of information that they drop here. Discover more limited research featuring Feebas. Okay, so this is going to be for a 3-hour period, which we'll get to. It's time to put your research skills to work and collect field research that looks closely at a certain Pokemon species. Let's do some limited research. While the water-type Pokemon Feebas may not look much, there's plenty to learn about the fish Pokemon. Spin a photon disc at a nearby Pokestop to obtain the field research tasks that lead to encounter with Feebas. Wow. And if you're lucky, here we go, you just might find a shiny Feebas. See more details below. So we'll get into the color. I'll have the images on the side all ready for you to see. And here are the correct dates for Europe, Middle East, Africa, India. It's going down January 19th at 10 a.m. till 1 p.m. UTC, the Americas, and Greenland. That's going to be happening January 19th at 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. So it's going to be giving us a 3-hour period to find these in the photon disc research task. So I'm having a hunch that it's not going to be super rare. They're going to be pretty abundant, and I wouldn't say easy to obtain, but they're going to up the chances of you actually finding the shiny. Features: limited research tasks will be available when you spin a photon disc at a Pokestop. Completing the limited research task will reward you with the encounters with Feebas. You may encounter a shiny Feebas. So there you go. Feebas migrate quickly during the limited research, so exploring is key. As long as you collect the limited research during the window, you can complete it anytime. Don't forget, you'll need to venture onwards to many Pokestops in order to get the new field research task to encounter as many Feebas as possible. Okay, so there you go. This is going to be quite interesting. I'm excited to see if I'm able to get one. Maybe two, maybe a good IV. But then that's not it, folks. You can't just simply evolve it right away. You're going to have to walk the 20 kilometers, which is no big deal, because once you do obtain that shiny Feebas and you're walking it and you see it shiny, no big deal. Let's go. Let's get that 20 kilometers nice and easy. No big deal. Now, of course, you will be able to stack these. So, for instance, let me go ahead and click on this Pokemon that I can claim here that is in the queue ready to go. And there we go. We're just going to back out. All right, so it is stacked in here now. I don't know how many Pokemon I have in here. We'll claim the first one just to see what we have. All right, it's a Vulpix. So a Pokemon that you do not catch and you just run away from them after you completed that task will stack up, okay? You will have a limited number up to 100 Pokemon, so make sure you don't have a whole lot, and then you're collecting these Feebas, tapping on it, and then just backing out, because they just might not stack up all the way, because you do have that limited number now. It's not an unlimited amount of Pokemon you can just stack in there. So there is that. Although when you do encounter them, you'll see if they're shiny right away. So it's not that big of a deal. You might as well just catch it right away. But just thought I'd mention that to you if you did not know already. Okay, so these are my Feebas and Milotic. I had a bunch of Feebas. I just pretty much transfer them or trade them off to people who want them. This one here is quite horrible, I do believe, in IVs. Yeah, may not be great. I don't know what I was doing. Pretty much it had a high CP, and I just wanted to prep in case of some sort of mythical breakthrough where it was like, oh, and walk a Feebas and then evolve it. So I had one ready to go. This one already has 20 kilometers. All I have to do is hit evolve for whenever we receive any sort of task that requires us to do so. So I have evolved one personally myself. So this is it. And I might have powered up a few times. Simply amazing HP. So it's okay there. This one was traded from me from my good friend. And the game is kind of frozen right now. So we'll just wait a second. There we go. All right. This one isn't so hot. I think decent. Okay. And why would he trade me this? I think he was upset about it because he was walking. He had 100. And he accidentally walked the wrong one. And it was a bad IV, so he didn't even want it anymore. He didn't want to look at it, so he's like, here, just take it. I was like, sure, give it to me. I'll have it. Anyways, there's my collection. So I'm not like stacked on a whole bunch. I've only evolved one personally. So this is going to be great. I do have quite a few candies. 1,205. So we're looking fantastic in that regard. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the stats and see what it's actually going to be good for as far as PvP. Alrighty, so here we are on the Go Hub, taking a look at, and just in case I've been saying it incorrectly, let's see if I can do it right. Milotic. I was saying Milotic. How's that? It's going to be a pure water type, max CP at 100% IV. Of course, 3005. That's a pretty good number right there. Attack 192, defense 219, and stamina 216. So right off the bat, we can see that this is a tankier Pokemon who's going to be able to take hits with a great defense and also stamina. The attack isn't horrible for the stamina and defense being up so high. So let's just, not be so hard on it. Now it's going to be weak to electric, grass, resisting fire, ice, steel, and water. All right, okay. Now let's see what we have for the moves, because, that's the biggest thing here. And of course, there's going to be no legacy on this quite yet. It's going to have Dragon Tail and Waterfall for the quick moves. For the charge moves, we're going to have Blizzard, Hyper Beam, and Surf. So we can see that this is somewhat of a Dragon Slayer to some degree. Unfortunately, the only double charge move it's going to have is going to be Surf there. Although that's not a horrible option, so possibly Surf and then Blizzard if you do consider purchasing a secondary move. As far as if you don't purchase a secondary move and you just have one, what do you want to go with? It depends on what you're using it for. If you want it as a water offensive Pokemon, then you're going to want to go with obviously Surf and Waterfall. Unfortunately, Waterfall has a horrible energy gain for PvP, okay? For anything, really. If you're going up against a gym or a raid, you should be okay, right? But in a PvP match, Waterfall is absolutely dreadful. The energy gain for your charge moves is extremely slow, although Surf is going to only take 50, so it shouldn't be such a horrible thing. Now, if you're trying to use this as a Dragon Slayer, you have that nice Dragon Tail, bada bing, and then you're going to be able to go with Blizzard for those big hits on the dragons. Now, the energy gain for Dragon Tail is not the best, but it's not the worst either. Depending on your situation, if you're taking neutral hits, then you should be okay to charge up that Blizzard and finally get it off onto that dragon out there. Although hopefully they've already burnt through their shields, because that's going to be a lot of time trying to gain up that Blizzard just for them to simply hit that shield. And then there goes all that time wasted. And then you're sitting there probably with, a lot of health missing from that quick move from the other dragon Pokemon. So it's not looking horrible. It's pretty good. I mean, you have that nice option as a water offensive or a Dragon Slayer. Now, if it had Ice Beam, that would just be magnificent. It would be absolutely fantastic. Of course, you would go with Surf and then Ice Beam if you wanted a secondary move. But as far as it is right now, it's not the worst and it's not the best. But at least you do have those options if you are trying to use it that way. I haven't really seen too many people use this in PvP because of probably the move pool that it has. You might as well go with Water Gun because, well, it's completely dominating Waterfall for sure. Now, here we have the fun part. We're going to be doing a test, which is going to be somewhat controlled. I told him the CP range that I have, and he picked the dragons in coordination so we can make this somewhat of an even battle here. He does let me get a Blizzard through at one point, just so you can see the potential there. So the first one that I'm using going in is going to have Waterfall and Surf. I don't really use that. I kind of just switch it right off the bat. I should have went in there with the Dragon Tail and Blizzard one. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and switch that out. And let's see what we can do here. So I do have Dragon Tail, and it's doing a good amount of damage to that dragon, right? So we're looking pretty good. It does have Dragon Tail itself on that Dragonite, so it is taking those fairly well. And as you can see, if you are matched up with a dragon Pokemon that is taking super effective damage, obviously all of them will be, then you will be in a good position here. So I do have my Blizzard, but since I'm doing so much with my Dragon Tail, I'm just going to go ahead and finish it off with that, because I do know it just has Draco Meteor, and it's going to take a while for it to get it, not like Dragon Claw or something. So I'm just going to immediately hit that Blizzard right when they enter in. The Altaria goes down immediately, being flying and dragon type, so that's going to be extremely weak to ice. And then in comes the Kingdra. So that is going to be taking super effective from my Dragon Tail, and it's going down fairly nice. And I will be taking reduced damage from any sort of water move that Kingdra is putting out. If it did have Dragon Breath, I will still be going down quite quickly. So first Milotic still holding up quite nicely, as you can see, because, well, it was taking reduced damage from that waterfall. And in goes the Feebas trap. I'm sure he had his special ready to go as soon as I hit it out, because, you know, when somebody throws in their new Pokemon, you can't see it immediately, and sometimes you feel like, oh, you're about to faint, so you're tapping it, whatever, who cares, you just want to get that damage. And so I just do in the Feebas. So anyways, in comes the Waterfall and Surf Milotic, which would be absolutely useless to go up against any sort of dragon, but that's all I had left in. There you go. So Milotic looking great as a Dragon Slayer as far as I'm concerned, because, well, it performed nicely in this battle, I think. Alright, trainers, so if you are unaware, we already went over this, and it's quite clear. It says it right here, but yes, you're going to actually have to walk this 20 kilometers as your buddy, and then you will be able to evolve it into Milotic. So as you can tell, this is not currently my buddy, so you don't have to worry about that. If you walk the 20 kilometers, you can take it off as your buddy and save it for whenever you want to evolve it, okay? So simple as that. I did this back, I don't even know, a long time ago, just in preparation in case we had some sort of mythical quest, and I recommend you do the same with a random Feebas. Maybe. I don't know. It's up to you. And possibly pineapple them too, so you can yield more candies, because they're not going to be running from you as a field research task, and these things are not the most common around. In case you wanted to purchase a secondary move, power it up, whatever you have to do. Maybe even trade a few times with some people and get a lucky shiny Feebas. How amazing would that be? Because this Pokemon is actually pretty good, if you use it in the right situation for sure. Not only that, but it looks absolutely amazing. So with that said, trainers, I'd like to say thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this very quick rundown of Milotic and just bringing you up to speed on what is going on. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and I'll be catching you all next time. Take care.